Okay, here we are. It is late September, and this is your snow season outlook now for the November through March timeframe of 2024 and 25. I think it's going to be quite a different winter when compared to last year, and a lot of that has to do with the idea that we are evolving into a La Nina weather pattern. We'll get into that here a little bit here in this video. Before we start digging into the snow season and what I'm expecting, take a look at just real quick at the snow totals per month here at Twin Cities International Airport, or they're basically in the Twin Cities Metro. And you can see we can get at least a little bit of winter in October, not much, but as November and December ramp up here, the snow totals go up also. And you can see 9 to 12 inches is pretty common each month in November, December. Of course, that varies greatly. And then our snowiest months are January through March before they start to taper in April. Some other La Nina seasons, I've seen the snows continue even into April. So just keep that in mind. We could have a winter season that lingers this year into deep into the spring season. So again, a lot of that may have to do with La Nina. And La Nina is likely going to affect our weather here as we head through the winter months. Okay, these are the snow totals over the last, through history at Twin Cities International Airport. And a couple of things I wanted to show you is that last year we had very little in the way of snow. Our average snowfall total is right around 50 to 55 inches in the Twin Cities Metro. We were well below that last season. But look at this, the season before we were well above, just an incredible amount of snow 2 years ago. And then years before that, we were right around or just a little bit below the normal. So it seems like, or it appears like, we are in a pretty good position to get a decent amount of snow this year, because as you can see, in 2016 and 17, when we had little snow, we did ramp up right away to about 78 to 80 inches of snow as La Nina kicked in. As we went into 2017 and 2018. So we will need to keep that in mind. Not a guarantee, but I do think we're going to have more snow this winter, certainly, than we had last winter. And that's not very far-fetched or not an incredible prediction, because we should get more than 30 inches of snow this year. Okay, here's your La Nina, and in contrast to what El Nino is, and these are the two maps. This is from the Climate Center at NOAA, and here's what we were in last year. This is an El Nino weather pattern, and El Nino usually creates a strong and active jet stream across the southern United States, and that's exactly what happened. It was really wet in California, Arizona. Meanwhile, we would get a dry flow off the Rocky Mountains, and this is usually a fairly warm weather pattern, and that's what we had last year. We had what were called Chinook winds that came off the Rocky Mountains, and then those Chinook winds, they're a dry and warm wind, and yes, it would suppress the atmosphere here across much of the northern U.S. and creating a warm and dry environment, and that is what we had. Now this year, here is your La Nina weather pattern right here. And this is typically what happens during a La Nina. The jet stream, or at least the active jet stream, migrates a little bit further north, well, a lot further north than in an El Nino season. And that means that more active weather is likely in this area here of the United States and North America rather than down here in the southern U.S. So again, a jet stream that is migrated a little bit further north than in an El Nino snow season means usually quite a bit of snow, especially when you get into this area here, which would include Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, the upper Midwest, and the Great Lakes region. And that has to do with this active jet stream that usually starts to develop storms in the Central Plains and then pushes those storms east and northeast towards the Great Lakes. Classic snowstorm weather pattern for the Midwest and Great Lakes region, and that's one of the reasons why this is my prediction now. I'm not going to deviate away much from what is typical of a La Nina weather pattern. I do think that there's going to be quite a bit of snow, especially in the Great Lakes region, and I do think that our snow totals here in Minnesota and Wisconsin will be above average. while when you go south towards the Gulf Coast region in the southern U.S., I think they're going to have below normal precipitation, which is good news because they don't need much precipitation down there anymore. Okay, now when we look at the seasonal temperature outlook, I am expecting quite a bit of cold air west and north of the upper Midwest. So, yeah, that is setting up a pretty good scenario for at least some snow in the in our region as we set up a battleground here in the upper Midwest. As you can see, that jet stream would be pushing northeast out of the Central Plains northeast into the Great Lakes region, and we would be quite often in the northern and western sections of that jet stream structure, and that would mean quite a bit of precipitation here in the upper Midwest, and a lot of that, especially if it's cold enough, would be in the form of snow or some sort of a wintry precipitation as the warm air stays south, well south of the Great Lakes and upper Midwest region. So long story short, we have the potential for quite a bit of snow this winter as long as this jet stream can be oriented from southwest to northeast across the heart of the U.S., and storms were to develop in the plain states and push northeast. All right, there's your outlook for the 24-25 winter season, snow season. We will be talking a lot more here in about a month.